Let's see if I got it right this time. Hello, good evening, everyone. Hope you guys are all having a great uh, beginning of the week. Yeah, it's been crazy today. Just trying to get back to normal. But glad that you all made it here tonight. And I hope that the sound is coming through. Let me just double check that there is stuff coming. Yep. Okay. So, how is everyone? Hope you all had a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. And you will see what I was up to this past weekend. And I'm still kind of recovering because oh gosh, it was a long weekend. Let me just say that. But let's do some quick shout outs. Diane Watson says, Happy Tuesday from Missouri. Hello, Diane. Thank you for joining tonight. Kenono Show. Hello. Thank you for joining. Miss Debbie Huey. How are you, my prickly pear? Thank you for joining from St. Louis. Mary Jane Ellinger is here. Hey, Kim. Glad that you made it here tonight. And let's see, Janice Vanderstack. Happy Tuesday from North Carolina. Happy Tuesday. Margaret Hassler is here saying hello. Hello, hello, Margaret. Judy Smith is here. And let's see, did I miss anyone? Katie Crafts is here. Hello, Katie. And Zakaya Tanzil. Hello. Glad you made it here tonight. Miss Remo J. Good evening. And she's reminding everybody to give a thumbs up. So thank you for that. And Miss Irish Sail Lady. Good evening. I took a nap after dinner and now I'm wide awake having my coffee, of course. Okay. Well, thank you for joining us tonight. Linda Denton is here. Branka Bus. Oh gosh. I am sorry if I murdered this name. Branka Beslik Tarini. Okay. I'm sorry if I apologize if I got that wrong, but thank you for joining. Hello, Miss Mary. How are ya? Glad you made it here tonight. Yeah, and everybody saw my little peekaboo moment there. Jimmy Tony from Missouri. How are ya? Thanks for joining here tonight. Barbara Olson is here. June Hansen is here. Chloe Morgan. Hello, Chloe. And Miss Shirley around Tuit is here. Ann Morrison. Hello, Ann. Glad you made it here. And Vera Weeks from Texas. Glad you made it. Okay. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Yo, Patty G. How you doing, girl? Okay, if I missed you, I am terribly sorry. We got June Hansen. No, I got June Hansen. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, is the sound okay? Because I do see it's a little low. Let me turn it up a little bit. And Jackie, hello from Phoenix. How are you? Hope you're doing good. Okay, so what was I up to and why did I put such a crazy title to this live? If you didn't see it, I kind of titled this live, I went to Mars and came back. Hello, Miss Julie. New to the channel. Hello, everyone. Well, welcome, Julie. Thanks for joining here tonight. Welcome to Treasure Heart Creations. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Melster. She said that the sound is good. So I'm going to try and attempt to do something I've never done on this before, and I'm going to actually share some pictures of my adventures. Now, caveat to that, let me make this disclaimer. I've never done it before. So I've watched others do it, and I've been asking around to some of the other YouTubers that I do know how to do this. And so they kind of explained it to me, but hopefully I'm crossing my fingers and hopefully this does work. Hello, Miss Vivian. Glad you made it here tonight. Girl, you up late too. Okay, so what did I do this weekend? Well, I had an adventure. And I went out I went out hiking in the southern or central Nevada area. And one of the places that I heard about this place through watching some other YouTubers and just seeing pictures that people put online. And I was kind of interested in going there. The problem is this place or this park is out in the middle of nowhere. Like it's from Las Vegas, it's about a 2.5 to 3 hour drive. Well, it took me 3 hours because I was kind of driving slow. But it takes about 3 hours from Las Vegas to get to this park. But when you get there, it's quite an interesting landscape. So here goes nothing. And whoops. Okay. Let's see if this works. Whoop. I advanced the picture. Sorry about that. So, if this is working right, you should be seeing this landscape that looks like Mars. This is actually a state park in central Nevada. It's called Cathedral Gorge. And when you get there, to me, it just looked like you were on the planet Mars. So this is the view from the top of the canyon. And what's interesting about this place is all of this was just it's a very interesting landscape. I'll just say that. You can go into the canyon, in which I do have pictures of me in the canyon, but it's I don't know, it was kind of an exciting place to be because you can see all the different colors of rocks, just the different tones of red and brown, even some little bit of gold hues. And so I don't know much about the geology of this place. I do know for a fact that these rocks, I do have some close-ups of the rock formations, but basically all of these rocks that you see here, they're kind of like, it has the texture of like mud that got compressed together to form a solid rock, but it's not exactly solid because once you touch it and you start rubbing on it, it just starts crumbling. And so it was I don't know. It's just, they say that every time it rains, the landscape kind of changes because water reshapes all of this rock. And so what's the attraction to this place is you can actually go walking through some of the slots, or they call it slot canyons. Basically, it's a very, very, very narrow passageway that you can go through. And it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of like a adrenaline junkies kind of medicine. People like to go through these things just for the thrill of it. And so I'd never been through a slot canyon before, but the opening that you see here is maybe less than 4 feet wide, and the walls that you're seeing here are about maybe 100 or 200 feet tall. And so you're literally just kind of going through a crack in the wall. And at certain points, I actually got stuck in some of these some of the cracks or in that passageway, and so what I was doing was just basically wiggling my way out of there. And as you can see in this video, the image is kind of moving. This is what it looks like up close. So it just kind of looks like mud that got compressed together. And every time it rains, you can kind of see that the water's going to reshape how the wall or how this rock looks. And so there's me looking up toward the sky from the bottom. And what's really interesting is when you go into one of these, or again, what they call slot canyons, the outside temperature was about in the upper 90s or so. But when you get into the slot canyon, or when you get into these passageways, the temperature drops about to maybe a low 60s, which is really interesting. And there you can kind of see the view of pretty much the entire park. Yeah, and there's another view of the same shot, just a vertical shot. So it was fun, to say the least. So the passageways that I'm talking about is, I don't know if I can enlarge this. Right there in the center, it's kind of hidden. Well, maybe you can't see where my cursor is, but it's kind of hidden there in that center. That's where the opening of the passageway is, and you can just walk right through it. Well, kind of walk right through it. You got to squeeze your way in there. But yeah, but totally fun. Totally. If you have the adventurous kind of spirit, this is something I would highly recommend that you would want to do, or if you know of somebody that likes that. Now, I also spent some time at Death Valley National Park, and there was one particular feature that I wanted to see, which is what we're looking at here. This is what they call, how did they, oh gosh, I'm going to butcher this name too. Hebe Crater. Okay, it's a crater in which, if you don't know geology, when you get lava and you get ocean mixed together, they're not a good combination. And so what can happen is a huge explosion, and that's what happened here. Death Valley was actually covered in, or millions and millions of years ago, Death Valley was actually underwater. And so when you get hot lava mixing in with that water, a big explosion happens. And this crater that we're looking at is the end result of that. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but when I was going to college, I actually had to study geology as my science requirement. And so I learned a lot about volcanism and rock formations. And so all of that knowledge just kind of came streaming back. And yes, I was very safe away from the edge of the cliff. Now, and you can actually go down into the center. Yeah, so that spot, that peach-looking spot there, you can kind of see there's little trails that actually go down to the center where people can, I mean, if you are really adventurous, you can go hiking down into the crater and just have a look from the bottom up. And there were a few people when I was there that actually made it down to the bottom, and they had to climb back up. Yep. So just to give you some sense of magnitude, of how big this crater is. I think they said it's about a 3-mile radius all around. And when I was taking these photos, you're standing maybe about 400 feet above. So, and let's see, how do I go to do this? So that was my adventure from this weekend. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Sorry, I couldn't see the chat, so let me scroll back a little bit. Sound is good. Okay. Awesome. Hello. Moldy Lasagna. Thanks for joining tonight. Thank you. Hope reminds me of the hoodoos in Drumheller. Never heard of Drumheller. I'll have to look that up. I was thinking the same thing. Okay, that's wait, somebody else made a comment. Let me scroll back up further. Oh, no, missed it. Okay, I think I watched some of this through a lady. Okay, not sure. I'm doing good, Debbie. Thank you for asking. Okay, so Vera says, we lived in Saudi Arabia in the 90s, and this reminds me of it. We would go camping in the desert a lot and was able to explore so many fascinating places. You know, I would love to actually visit that part of the world, quite honestly, just for the fact of the geological features that I could explore. Hello, Miss Guess Who, Nancy. Okay, so interesting and beautiful Drumheller is in Alberta, Canada. Oh, okay. I will have to look that up. I've seen pictures of certain parts of Canada that I would one day like to visit. Banff, I think that's in Canada. That's one place. I know there's parts of Glacier National Park or Glacier Park, which the U.S. kind of borders or kind of shares the park with Canada. It's another place I would like to visit. I still have yet to explore a lot of places, though. So that was my adventure from this weekend. Hope you guys had a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. What were you guys doing? I know that a lot of people mentioned that they were going to be sewing on or catching up on different projects. What did you guys do for Memorial Day weekend? Okay, so let me switch back to the dual camera. So what I'm just working on tonight is just working on a few more blocks of this baby quilt that I'm supposed to be doing. Ooh. Time for bed. Oh, good night, June. Thanks for stopping by. Those who create love to see places I may never get to. Oh, Linda, you got to get out there. You got to explore. One day you'll get there. Have faith. Yeah. But it all started again. All of this kind of started when my blood sugar level was a little too high. So doctor said, get out, get some exercise, take a walk. And I started doing that, and I started getting bored at these walks. So I was like, how can I make it a little bit more exciting? And that's when I said, we used to go hiking a lot. Maybe I should start doing that. Of course, ever since I moved to California, I haven't gone hiking anywhere. But when I was growing up and living in Hawaii, there was a lot of outdoor activities that you could do for free. Um, go to the beach, go to the, I don't know, just hike out in the wilderness, into the rainforest. And I kind of miss doing all of that. And so one day I just said, okay, let's go exploring, and went to a waterfall. Okay. Let's see, lots of geothermal areas here in NZ. NZ, is that New Zealand, Anne? Kim says, my weekend was good, quiet, but good. Oh, those are the best. My oldest got married in Banff. Ooh, that's kind of a unusual. Well, maybe not so unusual, but that'll be kind of a fun wedding. I watched Monday. Oh, Mom and Pop 12 hours and got all my 30 string blocks finished. Started sewing them together on Sunday. On Monday, I went to my daughter's for a barbecue and ate too much. Okay. Well, that's the way to spend Memorial Day weekend. Let's see. My husband and I camped last week in Mississippi learning to use our new casita camper. I worked on a project with Hexagon's EPP. Ooh. Anne Morrison, do you know about, oh gosh, forgot her name. Oh my goodness. What is her name? I know the channel is called Quilt Roadies, in which it's a husband and wife couple, and they have a camper, and sometimes they go, they pretty much just take the camper and go around the country, or here in the U.S. I forgot her name. But they're interesting to watch. I mean, the places that they go, very, very interesting. I'll say that. Yep, in New Zealand. Okay. Aotearoa. And is New Zealand? No, I'm thinking Tahiti. What is the greeting in Maori? I can't remember. I studied Pacific languages for 2 years. I should know that. Doo-doo-doo. Okay. Okay, got one block finished. Actually, I was sewing this earlier. Well, okay. And so it's not the prettiest, or it's not the most perfect block, because I do have my points that are way off here, 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 here. Okay, but you know what? It'll do. So I can put this one aside, and I will press that out later. So is anybody sewing tonight? Or am I the only person sewing tonight? That's okay. I know it's late for some people. Okay. let's see, I'll do with this one. So quick review on how I'm doing this. Sorry, I know the camera just went off. How am I doing this? Okay, so I got 4 patch out of 2.5-inch squares. I'm doing flying geese units using a 1 at a time half square triangle method. So I'll do that as a half square triangle. I will pair it with this, and I'll probably put it on this side. And then I will take the gray. Oh, I know why. This is throwing me off. The green and the gray together. Then we'll do this brown. And, ooh, I'm running out of colors here. Brown, and we'll do this turquoise there. Then we'll do the blue and finish it with the yellow. Okay. Star block with the 4 patch. Very nice. Well, thank you, Damali. Oh, hey, Damali. I didn't know you were here. Thank you for joining. Okay. Let's see. Katie Crafts is sewing a tote. And Ann Morrison is sewing on binding on a blue and white quilt for her sister. Oh, that is sweet. Okay, not sewing. I'm actually working my full-time job. Judy, are you fooling around? Or are you on the clock? You're my kind of gal then. Just finished up a few reports for a meeting at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Whoa. Okay, well, make sure. Well, Judy, make sure you do go home at a decent hour. Oh, I already have one here. What am I doing with this one then? Let me put this one back. I'll keep that with that. Okay, now I'm getting my own self confused as usual. The yellow was with the blue, so okay. Then this one went here. This can, okay. I think I got it now. Cut that one, and I can trim this one down. It's 3 p.m. I'm making a stuffed monkey. Ooh. Getting late here in Rhode Island. Okay, well, thanks for hanging in there, Chloe. Anna and G. Those are the quilt roadies. Okay, that's right. Thank you, Mozilla. Okay, love my 2.5 and 2.5 HST AccuQuilt. I don't have the 2.5. I got the 2.5-inch strips, but I should have actually bought the. Yeah, I'm regretting it now, but I should have actually got the 2.5-inch square dies and the half square triangle dies for that. I figure I can, if I can cut 2.5-inch strips, then I'm happy. But I should have invested for those dies. Oh, I should cut this one too so I can actually sew these two together. And I'm just finger pressing them apart. Finger press, finger press. And it goes like that. Yep. Wait, did I get it right? Yeah. Prints to the outside. Line up. Line it up and let's sew. Okay, how did I do on this one? Oh, not bad. It's a hair off, but I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, let's take these two and we'll put these two. Okay. Janice says, I'm piecing a split star quilt while watching you tonight. Spent the day hand quilting. Yesterday I stretched a quilt and pasted it. Well, you've been productive, huh? Haven't you, Janice? Well, by the way, I hope you're feeling better. Well, it sounds like you're feeling better, so that's good. Good night, Mary. Judy Smith says, oh, I work from home. All I have to do now is stand up and off the clock. Okay, that's convenient. Chain piece these two. I might as well, since I got. I'm in the chain piecing groove with it. And I'll do the last one. Oh, grab two of them. Okay. I'll grab a little scrap piece so I can sew this into a smaller half square triangle. Time to trim. Okay. Almost finished my first collage quilt portrait of my youngest son. Big learning curve for me, but still fun to do. That's awesome, Mozilla. I've yet to actually finish my first one as well. Yeah, collage quilting takes a certain skill level, I will say, because it's not like you're piecing a quilt together. It's kind of like you're taking fabrics and just kind of placing it to create an image. And not everybody has the ability to have that kind of keen eye to see what fabrics can go where. Of course, it is something that you can develop. I'm trying to develop that, but still not happy with it. But it is fun. Sure takes the stress out of matching points, though. I will say that. Okay, take that off. Let me sew another one of these pieces together. Okay, I know what I wanted to ask. Maybe I did ask this before. Is anyone... I'm working on a blessing quilt. It's larger so it can go to a teenage girl. Quilt tops I make go to foster kids in nursing homes. Oh, Vera, that's awesome. Which reminds me, I need to do this year's charity quilt. I try to do at least one a year, and I usually don't film it or put it on YouTube anywhere. And I have yet to start this year's one. It's usually just a string quilt or some kind of crumb quilt that I kind of make up or do it as like a leader and ender project. But yeah, I haven't been going to my guild meetings, which is why I haven't been doing that. Okay. What are they doing upstairs? Sorry, I can hear my neighbors upstairs doing something. I hear a lot of stomping. Won't say what they're doing. And I don't want to find out. Okay. Definitely not artistic. Oh, I bet you are. You're probably just being modest. I made my first quilt probably before the majority of you were born and still have it and use it occasionally. That's awesome, Jimmy. Yeah, well, if you've seen the video, you know the story of my first quilt. And I just got a comment today from someone who said that they were glad that they saw the video because they felt better about themselves knowing that they didn't make the same mistakes that I did. But they also laughed at me. So I guess the video served its purpose. Whoops. Okay, something keeps getting caught on the bottom there. Ooh, that one's okay. That looks marvelous. I'm liking that one. Okay. I think I'm gonna do it like this. Yep. So we put the 2 squares there, 2 squares there. Okay, let's just sew the rows. As I was saying, I wanted to find out if anyone was planning on attending the International Quilt Show in Long Beach this coming July. I'm not sure exactly of the dates, but I know it's the first weekend of July. And I believe there's a handful of people that are going to go from the West Coast. I know for sure that I will be there on that Saturday, but just was curious to see if anybody else was planning on attending. Like that. Okay, then I can sew this one to there. This was the bottom piece, so this one goes like that. Wait, let me sew this one first. Let's not get myself out of order, because you know I will confuse myself. Press that one out. Okay. Okay, just sew the block, or I'll sew this seam, and then read some comments. Okay. Okay, let me pin, well, let me catch up because I do see the screen jumping around, so let me back up a little bit. Well, hello, Miss Tiffany. How are ya? I'm probably late, but I was on the phone with my son, Damon, because it's his 23rd birthday. Well, happy birthday, Damon, even though you're not on here, but he's only 23? Really? Wow. I thought he was a little older. Well, happy birthday to Damon. So let's all sing, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Damon, happy birthday to you. Even though he's not here, but you can pass it on, Tiff. June 17th would have been my 45th wedding anniversary. Wow. 45. Would have been. Well, you know what? Even if your husband, wife is passed away, I don't know. I know legally you're no longer married, you're widowed, but I don't know. I kind of feel like if you haven't remarried to someone else, shouldn't you just say you're still married? I don't know. I'm just weird in that, and thinking of things like that. Okay, maybe the neighbors are tap dancing. Barb Olson, let me just put it this way. They're tapping, they're not dancing. And let's just leave it at that. Okay. Hello, Miss Daisy Dale. How are you? Glad you made it here tonight. And Molly Fisher came in. Hello, Molly. Alexa is the oldest. She is 23 till June 11th. So they are the same age for 2 weeks. Then I have a 24-year-old now. Okay. Yeah, actually, it's really weird because even between my brothers, there is a short period of time in which all three of my brothers are 10 years older than I am, and then two of my other brothers, they're twins, so then they have their birthday. It's kind of weird. Okay, and I'm pinning this part because I always pin my rows whenever I sew them together. Not that it makes it any more accurate for me, quite honestly, even though it's supposed to. But I do find it helps that the fabrics don't shift. Ow, I just pinned myself. Pin myself to the fabric. I've done that few too many times. Okay, let's sew this last seam. Ta-da! You know, the points on this one actually came out pretty good. I'm proud of myself. Okay. Good night. It's 11:24 on the East Coast. Good night, Judy. Thanks for stopping by. My baby is 41. My daughter will be 50 in August. Wow. We're almost the same age. I'll be 46. I'll be 46 in August. But shh. I haven't sewn anything for a week. Can't get my sojo back. Barb, let's fix that. I'm going to give you a sewing assignment. Sew a 4-patch by the next live on next Tuesday. Can you do that? Damon just said thank you for singing for him. You're welcome, Damon. Hope that's really pretty. Oh, thank you, Kim. I have yet to actually see all the stars together, so we'll see how it looks. I might not, well, I think I counted 28 of these altogether, but I might do half of stars, and then I might just put like sashing around a 4-patch just to kind of alternate the block, because I am not making 28 of these because they are time consuming for me. Okay, curious, does LA have a fabric district, or do you just go to quilt stores? Vera, there is an actual fabric district, but it's more geared towards interior designers and fashion designers. So while you can find quilting fabric in some of these fabric stores or at this fabric district, you're probably better off looking if you want quilting fabric or quilting cotton. You're better off just going to a quilt shop. But there are times where I do go to the fabric district to buy, I don't know, tulle, or if I just need muslin or yards of muslin. I mean, you can get it there for like 50 cents a yard sometimes, and if you bargain with the dealer. Plus, it's fun to go down there because the atmosphere and the craziness, it's just a lot of fun. I took a coworker of mine. We were just having fun. And we were looking at all the fabrics, and he's like, "Girl, I can make a dress out of this. Well, I'm making a tube top out of that too." So we were just, just having fun, just playing around with the bolts of fabric. And of course, the store owners are like, "What the hell are you guys doing?" Okay. Let's see. What day in August? My eldest boy will be 45 on August 3rd. Well, mine is August 23rd. And what's really interesting is I do have another coworker who is also August 23rd. Different years, of course. And then one of my cousins is August 22nd. And I have another friend who is also August 23rd. So there's a lot of people around that time period that I know of that have their birthdays. Okay. So I didn't see if anybody answered my question, but I guess I might be the only one going to the June Quilt Festival here in Long Beach. Or did I miss it? Let me scroll back up. Okay. I made a clip of you singing to him and sent it to him. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. Now I'm embarrassed. Well, I put it out there on YouTube anyway, so he probably would have found it. Nah, he probably doesn't watch. Anyway, let's see. So I forgot to share this story. For those of you that came in late, you can watch the rerun or you can watch the replay because I did share some pictures of the adventures that I had this weekend. But I forgot to mention this one story about this crater. So at this crater, this is Death Valley National Park here in California. And at this crater, you can actually go hiking around the rim or the perimeter of the crater. It's about a 3 mile, they say it's about a 3 mile perimeter or hike. And I was on the trail and I overheard there was this other family with a wife and a son, and they also had a daughter. And we were, not that I was intentionally eavesdropping on their conversation, but this was just so hilarious that I just had to listen in. So the son, he must have been like what, 5 or 8 years old, somewhere around there, young kid, and he said that he mentioned it to his dad. Dad, this crater looks like a toilet bowl. And it kind of does, actually. So the dad, being the dad, I guess he's kind of a jokester, so he kind of went with that story. And he said, "Yeah, son, what happened here was there was these big, huge aliens that came down to Earth, and they took a little, did a number 2. Well, the actual word he used started with an SH, and I'll let you fill in the blank there. So they took a little number 2 here, and it was so toxic and so smelly that it just basically went kaboom, and out came this crater. So you're right, son. No, I'm eavesdropping in on this conversation, and I just started busting out laughing. And I looked over at the wife, and the wife just gave the husband that dirty look like you are sleeping in the doghouse tonight. So I just thought that was so hilarious. So that's my funny story about the crater. And whoops. And my cameras are now acting up on me again. Well, at least I know the cell phone's working. Okay. So, let's see. It's 8:30. We've been, just about an hour. So I'm going to wrap it up and call it a night. I think I am going to choose to keep these lives on a Tuesday night at 7:30 Pacific Standard or Pacific time. So I know that the YouTube notifications are not, or they're not really working. Earlier I was kind of joking around. Well, I actually wasn't joking around that even on my personal account, it didn't send out a notification that I was on live. So, just kind of earmark it on your calendars that Tuesday night I will be going on live. So even if the YouTube fails to notify you, just know that I'm here. Sunday wasn't working out for me. I guess it was just Sundays are just bad. I am sewing, but these past couple Sundays I've been pretty busy. So, case in point, this weekend I was just out adventuring. So Sundays just wasn't gonna do it for me. So but I've been pretty consistent with keeping this Tuesday, and Tuesdays in general are okay. So I think I'm gonna keep doing these lives on Tuesday night. So just mark it down on your calendar, even if you don't get notified by YouTube, at least you know. So Tuesday 7:30 Pacific time, that's when I'll be doing my lives. 7:30 PST every Tuesday. Yep, that's right, Daniel Becker. Any more fun photos? Tiffany, call me after. I can share it with you. Because I think Scott might, well, he might be jealous of where I went. Okay. I got the notice while I was on the phone. See, some people get it, some people don't, and I'm not sure why. And I even checked my own phone settings. I checked my YouTube settings, and their notifications are turned on. So I'm not sure why it's not or it's going sometimes and not all the time. Just one of those YouTube things, I guess. Okay, so that'll be it for tonight. I know it's late for some of you guys, but thank you guys so much for joining me here. Again, 7:30 Tuesday nights, I'll be here. Knock on wood that I don't have to cancel. Okay, but yeah, hope you guys just had fun. Hope you enjoyed the pictures, and I will make a full video about this whole adventure using pictures and whatever video clips that I do have. Most of the pictures that you saw here tonight were just off of my cell phone. I had 3 other cameras that I took video and pictures from. So I'm going to I'm trying to make, excuse me, I'll be trying to kind of come up with a full video and make it quilting related somehow. Well, who knows? I have to be a little bit more creative with that. But, well, have a wonderful rest of the week. Thank you guys again for joining me tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed all of this. And I shall see you next week. But until then, let's all go out there. Let's create something. All right. Bye for now.